please like, share, subscribe. So I've somewhat got it set up tonight so I can get through it pretty quick, and it should be relatively painless. So, oh, got a whole bunch of thumbs down before the video even starts. How can that be? Oh, because they know that I'm gonna go hard in the yard about this fucking polygraph science here. Like the pick. Hey, KCK, yay, 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 yay. I'm bombing Ziggy right now in her chat. Uh, hit that thumbs up, guys, please, when you jump in here. Boom. There we go. All right, so um pretty traumatic day. Can't imagine having to call Don and the Sandman today and tell them the news. Hey guys, it's all over the internet that something's going down over there on Ben Hill. Chase is over on No Thanks right now. Chase sent some gentlemen down there as soon as the news broke, and there was nothing. So we've tracked down who was the person that brought that material over, and she has leaned nothing, learn up because she can't see your video you did explaining. I'll put it back up. Anyways, so I want to run down a little bit here. And this is going to hit different, right? I mean, it's got to hit different. Hoo-ah. Now, please, the intellects in here, if you're a moderator, hey, Joan, I haven't forgot about you, hon. It's just been one of them days, and then I almost got into a fist fight. Well, verbal fist fight with a doctor that didn't want to return blows. So, polygraph in the science of, right? Let me show you something here really quick. We're going to go all the way down through this, guys. We might be here for about an hour, so I'm really going to try to run through this thing, okay? So, sorry if I'm ignoring the chat. I will get with all of the chat here once I knock this out. Boom. All right, so polygraph refers to an instrumentation to test or question individuals for the purpose of detecting deception or verifying truth of statements. A polygraph examiner is any person who purports to be able to detect deception or verify truth of statements through instrumentation or the use of a mechanical device. Now, essentially what that means is kind of like a radiologist, right? You've got to be trained in the art, the science. It's a pseudoscience is what it is. It's like insurance and chiropractic. Insurance just doesn't they don't see it like that, right? So let me go on to show you okay. Polygraph test, popularly known as a lie detector test, is a machine that measures a person's physiological responses when they respond to questions. The underlying assumption is that a person innocent of suspected crime will be more agitated answering the control questions than the relevant questions. Okay. Lie detectors are not admissible in Texas court, and law enforcement cannot force you to take a polygraph against your will. We all kind of floating around on the same page here, right? Now, I'm going to mix it up here for a minute. This is not just Texas courts. This is every court in the land. So, what do we got next here? Let me see what's going on here in this chat. I will check the chat out for a minute. If it was true and accurate, they would be able to use it in the court of law, which they cannot. Right. So what they do is they use it to rule you out as a suspect or an offender. If you can pass that test, it doesn't automatically rule you out, but it puts you on the excluded list, right? Essentially, right? You're still in the investigation, but you're not the active focus of it, right? What it also can do is it can also lead a team of detectives to focus on you harder as a suspect based upon the test, right? It is only a motivational tactic to try and do what, folks? It is a motivational tactic because it's not admissible. Let me tell you what. Google has all the answers. Google's a machine. Lie detector test is a fucking machine. And it gets it wrong. It gets it wrong enough times that it's not a science that we can use in court. So what do we call science? Look it up. What do we call science that we cannot use in court? It is called pseudoscience. Okay? Bear with me, guys. I'm not just a handsome face. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Pseudoscience.
Here's the definition of pseudoscience. A collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method.
Pseudoscience. Whoa? Hold on.
Pseudoscience.
Whoa? Let's do that again. Just so you know. Pseudoscience. A collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. Now, let's jump around here for a minute. I don't know why a lot of these content creators have such a hard time creating fucking content. It is easy. Instead of what they do is they maul each other with kitty gloves on and feed each other like the mama bird, right? So let's talk about meaningful synchronicity. Benny, what's a meaningful synchronicity? Meaningful synchronicity. No.
Here's the definition of meaningful. Having meaning.
Meaningful synchronicity.
According to Wikipedia, synchronicity is a concept first introduced by analytical psychologist Carl G. Jung to describe circumstances that appear meaningfully related yet lack a causal connection.
You want me to do that again? Meaningful synchronicity.
According to Wikipedia, synchronicity is a concept first introduced by analytical psychologist Carl G. Jung to describe circumstances that appear meaningfully related yet lack a causal connection.
Did you hear that? Okay. Meaningful synchronicity as it relates to criminal investigations. Okay. Synchronicity is a concept first introduced by analytical psychologist Carl G. Jung to describe circumstances that appear meaningfully related yet lack a causal connection. So all of these things that we think are something else that are related to this case are more oftentimes than not, 99% of the time in this case, have been a synchronicity. They have been what you would call meaningful circumstance, meaningfully related yet lack a causal connection. They seem like they could be related, but you cannot, at the very least, find a casual connection. There, see, I just bit the inside of my shit. Yeah, see? Hold on. Man, I get to run in my mouth. So, you start to see all these things. Oh, I did it good that time. This shit is irritating as fuck, and I only do that when I'm pissed, right? I gotta figure out a way, and then it like it swells up a little bit, and then it's like I do it over and over and over again. All right, so moving down here, in Paul's words, synchronicities were corrections to chance fluctuations by meaningful and purposeful connections of casually unconnected events. Though he had proposed to move the concept away from coincidence towards instead a correspondence, connection, or constellation of discrete factors. Young and Pauly's view is that just as casual connections can provide a meaningful understanding of the psyche and the world, so too many casual connections. Damn. Laid the inside of my shit open. So, to the intellects in there, I hope that makes some sense, right? What that essentially, break that down in layman's terms, right? What it is, synchronicity, here we go. Synchronicity experiences refer to a person's subjective experience that coincides between events in their mind and the outside world, may be casually unrelated to each other, yet have some other unknown connection. Jung held that this was a healthy, even necessary function of the human mind that can become harmful with psychosis. I'm teaching a college course tonight, although I'm not a teacher, nor an advocate. I'm a renegade activist. Thank you, AB 2.5. Now, Lizzie Dripping. I'm no Biden voter. Get that person out of here. Thank you. Now, actually, just forever put them out. I'll do it myself. Kim Holmes. Bear with me, love. Bear with me. It will circle back around. You can tell that this has been very prepared. I hooked this all up in like the last 10 minutes. I was like, okay, let's put this together. Because everyone's running their bullshit show tonight. And what I want to do is I want to show you a real, this ain't no fucking show. All right? This ain't no fucking show. This is somebody's life, a little girl's life, 3 little boys and 2 parents. Now, in regards to, so we've covered meaningful synchronicities. We've covered the other things, right? So, moving on. Can you imagine how the Wells, how Don must have felt, and how the Sandman must have felt, and how the family must have felt? Even Mary, even Jeannie, even all of them, right? Can you imagine how they must have felt? Even when they heard online that some dipstick dumb fuck decided to say that the police were over there and they found remains. If you all believe anything that anyone says on this fucking thing, it should be me, a few others, but let me point out one that I would always show what she says as it to be the fact, because it is. Let me show you, right? This is in regards to the remains rumor earlier, which was very frustrating because as soon as it happened, I immediately reached out to Don. He was unaware. Sandman was unaware, right? I don't know. Candace was outstanding. I reached out to her, but I didn't hear. Don answered me right back. Sandman answered me. They're like, whoa, okay, let me go see. And Sandman and I were looking at the video together, watching the chat, and I'm like, bro, and he's like, all right, let me find out what's going on, right? Immediately called me back and was like, nope, it's BS. Okay. Update. Edit to add SS from Ansley Daniel WJHL stating that this is false. It could have been yet another stunt from the YouTubers. Let's move on down here. I'm really tired of this damn. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting tired of this damn internet. I need to take my ass inside. All right, so it's here. It's not mine. Let me go here. Thanks for messaging us. We try to be as responsive as possible. We'll get back to you soon. Hey, Chris, if you are referring to any rumors of a police presence at the Wells property today, our crew went to the site and found no police were there. You can see the latest on the search for Summer Wells on our website here. Now, moving on. That's that. Now, we're moving on to the Chris Watts polygraph. Why is this important? Why it's important is because in every polygraph situation, anytime, for the most part, 99.9999% of the time, when you take unless you're involved in a case when you're already incarcerated, then and only then may you find yourself in a situation where you're behind bars taking a polygraph and you're not allowed to leave afterwards. Any other time when it's an active investigation and you're in the polygraph phase, because in the polygraph phase, you're still not arrested. You came willingly to the police station to take the motherfucker, right? So I want to show you verbatim how it is in every state when you're involved with a fucking polygraph. Chris Watts was a very smart man, had a great job, was not a great criminal. You would have to ask yourself how someone could be so smart in their real life but be such a dumb criminal that he not realize that she tells you they put a key in the door and that the only thing that she asks is that you unstrap yourself from the machine before you leave, but you are not under arrest and you can leave at any time. Hooah. Hooah. Now, at this point, had you done what American due process would tell you to do, you would have this already being monitored by an attorney, right? Now, why would it be such a bad thing? Now, in this case, had he had an attorney, his attorney would tell him no polygraph. Then his attorney would have informed him of his options, as if the attorney is trying to get him off the hook for murder. Hooah. This is really, really fucking simple. I mean, it's crazy, crazy fucking simple.
Less about the case because I want you to be able to tell me about the case. I don't want to have some preconceived notions about the case and That's why I don't want you to assume that I already know details because you told Detective so-and-so, that kind of stuff. I want you to be able to tell me like you were telling someone for the very first time about what happened when we get into actually talking about what happened, okay? Obviously, Chris, you're not under arrest. I have no
Obviously, Chris, you are not under arrest.
plans on arresting you. At any point today, if you decide you want to leave, the door is right there. There is
At any point during this, you feel like you want to leave, the door is right there. Here she goes with the key.
it locks us in here.
Oh, no, yeah, I saw that last night.
So there's a key in there now, so you can.
There's a key in there now because guess what? They cannot lock him in that room while he's there voluntarily for a polygraph because that would be false imprisonment, wouldn't it? And then you have a civil suit, which would then in turn probably dilute the criminal case moving forward.
If you just turn the key, it lets you out. Okay, and at any point today, even after all these components are.
Never, ever in your life are you in a police station while you have killed your 3 kids and your wife and be handed a key to have an access to a key to any fucking thing in a police station. Oh my God. No.
Attached to you, if you decide at that point, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, this is BS, whatever, that is completely fine. Just please allow me to unattach my components before you drag my $6,000 instrument on the floor.
That's it. You're free to leave. Just don't drag my shit onto the floor because it's very expensive.
And run out of here. And there's kind of a little maze back here, so I will show you the way out at any point if you decide, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. That is completely fine. The door does have to be shut for privacy just because noise does affect the polygraph. And I will read you your rights today, and that's just because the polygraph components are pretty restrictive. You know, they go around your chest and stuff, and you may feel at some point that you're not free to leave, but
False imprisonment. Right? She has to read him his rights because if he makes a fucking confession, he's going to jail at the end.
like I said before, at any point I will unattach all the components and
She does not want him to feel like he's being held there against his will. She's telling him that before anything, right? You're looking at it. You've heard, she don't even have her computer flipped up and she's saying, I don't want you to feel at all like you're being held here against your will. Now, what I'm asking all of you to do is put Don right there or put Candace right there.
show you the way out if you decide, even in the middle of the polygraph, if you don't want to continue to take it, okay? So, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you kind of a roadmap of where we're going to go today, just so you know what to expect and that kind of stuff, okay? So we're going to first start by going over a rights and consent form, and that's that Miranda rights form. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know, you hear it on TV shows constantly. Most kids can recite them.
So yeah, Don was given his Miranda rights. Now, you also could legally say, even though there's a key in the door and he's hooked to the machine and he's been given the directive and he's been briefed that he can leave anytime, while he's actually there, there's a strange sort of custody issue going on, right? He's being Mirandized, which means he's actually in detainment. It's a temporary it's a voluntary temporary detainment. He's actually being detained. He's being told that anything he uses says will be used against him in the court of law. But in the event that he doesn't want to do it anymore, he can leave. Right now, there is a law that says, and it's just about in every state, that a policeman can only keep you on the scene for a reasonable amount of time to issue a citation. Look it up.
Miranda rights. We're going to go over that, and again, it's just so that you know you're free to leave and that.
Number one, you're free to leave. She keeps reiterating that. That is the most important part about a polygraph, is that as a defendant or potential defendant suspect, you are free to leave at any point. She is stressing it almost as if she's like, we don't even have to start the test. You can leave now. She's trying to convince him in a rhetorical way, like, you can leave. I'm going to tell you over and over for where we at here for 12 minutes about how there's keys in the door. We'll show you your way out. She made it very ample
consent form, and that's just something that's required by my bosses
There's the consent form.
to say that you're actually consenting to the CDI doing a polygraph.
Consent form is also the same sort of thing. It goes along the lines of, a consent to search, right? It's the consent for the ideal of a search warrant to obtain what? A polygraph examination and an interpretation, because what comes out the other side of a polygraph is not fact. It is the opinion of the interpreter. She is an interpreter. She is going to interpret the results based upon what she knows through her training and real field work.
Okay. After that, we do a biographical and a medical form, and that's basically to make sure that you're a suitable subject to take the actual polygraph. I want to make sure that you didn't smoke, 10 rolls of weed, the night before.
Speaking of,
that didn't normally happen, but a lot of people smoke drugs before they come in here.
Not drugs.
Come on now. Themselves down. Some people take a lot of medication. Some people hear voices. All of those things are things that I cannot conduct a polygraph on someone if they have those things going on. So I just need to make sure that none of that stuff is affecting you. You seem very lucid. You're talking to me. You're making sense. You're not jittery. You're not moving around, that kind of stuff. So I don't think we're going to have any issues. But we just...
Now, it was at this moment he should have known he fucked up.
I want to vet all of that out and just kind of, make sure that you had enough sleep and you're not, obviously, no one's getting a lot of sleep, probably since Monday, but just so we can talk about all of that, okay?
Sure.
And then after that, we're going to discuss the issue of why you're here. Okay, I want to know everything you know, and again, I don't want you to assume that I already know something. I want you to kind of start from the beginning and telling someone maybe.
Let me tell you this lady has done this enough times. Look at his body language. He knows. It's not a preconceived notion because we already know what we know. But because we know what we know, we can look at him, and he's not the same posture as her. She's very open. She's very, she's not threatened. She's good to go.
A friend that you hadn't talked to since any of this has happened, and you're basically having to relay all of the details of exactly what happened with Shanann and the girls, okay? And then after that, we're actually going to take a bathroom break. I'm going to let you take a break. You can use the bathroom, get something to drink. That water there is for you if you need that at any point today. And then you're going to come back in here. I'm going to explain to you how and why the polygraph works. Again, you're part.
Okay, let me move forward to the preemptive parts that we need to hear.
And we're going to discuss that even before we even take the polygraph, what those questions mean. And just so you are completely clear in your mind when Tammy asked me this question, this is exactly what she means.
It's all going to make sense here in a minute.
Sometimes is because there is a pretty big process that goes along with it. Okay. Yeah. So did you, you're not working today, right?
Okay, it was 11:20.
Just because I want to know less about the case because I want you to be able to tell me about the case. I don't want to have some preconceived notions about the case, and that's why I don't want you to assume that I already know details because you told Detective so-and-so, that kind of stuff. I want you to be able to tell me like you were telling someone for the very first time about what happened when we get into actually talking about what happened, okay? Obviously, Chris, you're not under arrest. I have no plans on what to do with this. I will be able to show them that today. Don't, a lot of people come in here and they think, oh, they're just going to, attach all these components to me and then just start. I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been able to do with this. I will be able to show them.
Okay.
It's just about taking a polygraph, okay?
I thought that's how it worked.
On nervousness?
Yeah.
No. There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. Okay? Obviously, this is about 100% truth. Even if there's, something that you didn't tell the investigators, since Monday, I guess, is when you and the police were involved. If there's something that you didn't tell them since Monday, that is totally fine. I get it. People aren't going to remember every single detail every time they talk to someone. As long as you tell me what the truth is today, you will have no problem passing, okay? I promise you that. And obviously, I hope that, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph.
Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, that was my wife. So, did you guys get that?
As long as you, as long as, I mean, I hope. I mean, I hope that, you know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today, right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance.
Boom. So we got a pretty smart guy right here, right? Been given all the directives, been briefed thoroughly about what is his situation right now. Hoo-ah. Now, I know the everybody's starting to drop off. Hoo-ah. I get it. They don't want to see this. They thought there was going to be something juicy in here about Ziggy or something else, right? So we're going to move on over to here, right? So we know the polygraph science. Hoo-ah. Know the polygraph science. So
confirmation that the truck was actually there. They're not even.
What I think is interesting is that Brian Enton came in here and he gave wind again to the red truck. Let me show you this, which is very interesting. Where was it? Oh, there was another one that was saying that he was threatened in the description there. It was saying he was threatened to stay away. I'll wait.
Went missing, but even the sheriff today said they have no confirmation that the truck was actually there. They're not for sure it is definitely connected. There are so many pieces in this puzzle they just haven't figured out yet. But another interesting thing, Marty, he did confirm for me today that both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test,
which is something.
Now, interesting as that sounds now, what does it mean today, right? Let me do the math. How many days since June 15th? 155 days. She's been gone 155 days today. 155 days. On day 155 or 54, we hear they passed the test. What do we think about that? Hold on.
that both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test. That both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test.
Which is something I know a lot of people have wondered. Brian, the sheriff says.
Do that. Both parents.
Brian, the sheriff says.
Did pass a polygraph test. Ooh, hold on. Let me get a screenshot of that. That's beautiful. Ooh, Does that hit different? Oh, shooey. So, check this out. Because we've had all these professional people, nationwide, international, come out and say that Don and Candace are telling the truth.
This Black Friday, do you want a TV?
A lot. I know she didn't walk away from this.
Okay, let me do this. Let me pull it up like this. Where'd it go? Where's my screenshot? Here it is. Let's do it like this. While you're listening to this portions of this first interview from Candace and Don, look at this right here that said they did pass a polygraph test. Okay? Watch it. Watch it.
This property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch. And I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. It's kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. I mean, if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave her
back
head
and make
herself.
it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them.
Look.
I just wish there was a.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna go get a soda. Hold on. Okay. Look at this.
Way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. And I thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. She's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. There's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. Because we just try to be around good people. And we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors. And
they passed the test.
Everywhere.
The most important thing is to bring Summer home safe.
No matter what happened today.
I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but
they passed the test.
With everything we have. We've never went without.
All right, so I think you guys get the point. I just want to really drive that home. Wife, I love you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the chat for just a few minutes for anybody that may feel so inclined to come up and talk. We won't do any bashing at all. But what we will do is talk about today, how it made you feel, whatever, so on and so forth. So, hey, Gulf Coast. Nice to see you, beautiful. Very nice to see you, beautiful. Thank you for coming by, Gulf Coast. That means a whole lot. You guys, please throw some purple hearts in the chat for Gulf Coast Girl. She's one of my day one people, and it is just so lovely to see her here. Please, purple hearts. Please. Purple hearts for Gulf Coast, please, guys. Purple hearts for Gulf Coast. I love you, Gulf. Thank you, guys. Carissa, can you show me your face really quick? Yeah, guys, if you Gulf Coast, we love you. Okay. Yeah, guys, you guys know the skilo. If you're gonna come up on the panel, just be prepared to show me your face. That's all. No big deal. It's easy peasy Japanesey. Okay, Carissa, come on up. Ooh, Carla Z. Carla Z gets her BK shirt on Friday. I'm so excited. She says, I got to have a picture of you in that shirt. I'll color your face out or whatever you want. I got to see it. Hold the phone. Is there really a channel in here called Ziggy's Lip? Eh? I'm sorry, Lizzie. I'm going to get it made tomorrow. I promise. That's what I got going tomorrow. Please hold. I won't do it with my jammies on and no makeup, LOL. But love and respect for Benny and the invite. You do not have to come on here and show your camera or your face. You can put. I can't believe about that profile that's in here. That's insane. So I've been chatting with my wife here, and she's clearly watching. She asked me who the person I've made a few videos about in the past few days was, and I've given her a short rundown, and she's like, if that's what you enjoy doing, then do you. But when you get involved in people's unnecessary drama, it's very off-putting. That's her exact words. And I told her, I said, I will quit this YouTube in a second. In a second. So thank you, Gulf Coast. Thank you, G-Dog. It's very reminiscent to see Gulf Coast Girl and G-Dog together, like right by each other in the chat. Like it just brings back, some good memories from almost a year ago, right? Gulf Coast, right, G-Dog? So what I've come to realize right now is that if I want to continue doing this, I have to ignore every piece of drama. I have to absolutely ignore every piece of drama. And if I'm not mature enough to do that, then I don't need to be here. Because if I'm not mature enough to be here, it's going to affect my wife. And I can't forget about what and how I felt just a few days ago. Just earlier today, when I was tripping out about going to the dentist, and my wife was in a meeting with her boss and her boss's boss, and I needed my wife, and I couldn't reach her. And it was at that point I realized, like, how important this woman is to me, like how very important. Like going to the dentist. I could have called anyone in the world, but I needed to hear my wife tell me that it was okay. So what I need, guys, I need you to help me help me. If there isn't a way that we can all be mature about all of this, then I can't be here anymore. I need us to help us. I need us all to be, you see, like I'm married and my wife is like, this is off-putting. This does not make you seem very handsome. And like, it's just like, it's like listening to bad karaoke, I'm sure. Everyone likes a different song. There's a huge audience, and it's just. Can you imagine going to a school that's like kindergarten through 4th or 5th grade, and right at lunchtime? Can you imagine like a cafeteria filled with like 200, 300, 400 kids, all wild, out of class, having lunch, getting souped up on sugar, maybe their first sugar of the day, who knows, right? But you want to know what those kids in that cafeteria aren't doing? They're not affecting each other's home life. They're not tearing families apart. They're not making mockeries of themselves. They're not looking off-putting to their mates or their friends or their family. I guess what I need, guys, is I need the ones that really care about this situation. Hey, Crime Web, I'll have you right in. I need the ones that really care about what I really have to say about this situation. Hey, Crime Web, I'll have you right in. I'm going to mute you just for a second. What I have to say about this situation is that if we want to do better and we want to create this, and we want to create this community to be in a way where we can actually be helpful and not spend all this time worrying about all of the stuff that's different and that's opinionated. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. Or Amanda, I'm sorry. Amanda says, this is why you are different than the rest. Ms. Crimeweb, please, comments, questions, concerns, lovely.
Benny, we all care and love about you so much. And we all want your marriage to come first.
Yep.
And if you can tell us what we can do to help, we will.
You know what, Crimeweb? I think, I think that it's cliche almost for me to say, hey guys, I need you to help me, because ultimately there's really nothing anyone can do about what someone else wants to do. And so it may be, sort of selfish for me to even, solicit help from the online community, but I want to be here. I want to be helpful because anything that I want to be good at, anything any of us want to be good at, we can master it. And guess what? As great as I can be on the upswing, I can be just that low when you turn it around. So the key is to keep it in the upswing. But that's, here, that's almost impossible, isn't it?
Well, we do see creators that ignore this, but they're typically, the super, super high level, but they manage to just not even talk about it.
Yeah, I suppose, Crimeweb, that if you had a monetary motivation to allow your spouse to continue to do this work, even if it looked off-putting, right? So if I could pay a house note and a couple of car notes every month, this may not look so off-putting. But because I refuse to monetize, and I do all of this, this is all pro bono work that we're doing here. There's no money here for us. Because there's no payoff, my wife has a very hard time trying to understand why I put so much compassion into this, right? Not that my wife wants me to exploit this, but my wife is a numbers chick. She's like, you spend an awful lot of time doing this, and those hours could be allocated somewhere else, especially if the hours you're allocating are to unsavory situations that don't even involve you.
Well, it seemed like you were taking some advice from Candyman for a while. I noticed someone commented about having an accountability partner and a code word.
Yep. You know, it Crime Web, it just as soon as you think you've seen it all, it goes to a different low, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, let's try to imagine. Any of us ever gotten the worst news of our life and then got it over and over and over for 105 days? And on the 155th day, you got people calling you saying, hey, man, like they're searching your house, around your house, and they've got remains they found. Like, can you imagine that feeling? And then just a short time later, being told it's all a hoax. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't know how the Wells have stood up on their feet, got up every morning. I really don't.
I actually don't. Right? Like, at what point is it okay for these people to defend themselves? At what point is it okay for these people to say, okay, I've had enough? I'm going to say, I'm going to have my wife say I've been taken to Boston by the feds, right? Like, look what it does to the dummies online who aren't just capable enough and lack one virtue, and that is patience.
Yes.
If you wait 20 minutes on YouTube, it's going to iron itself out with some truth.
That's true.
How you doing, Miss Carissa? I think Miss Carissa, hit your microphone button. I believe you may be muted. But so yeah, that's it's very interesting. You know, you start to wonder what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? So what came first? Content creators that are lonely and at home with no love life, or the YouTube? Did the YouTube create one, or did one create the other? Like, because it is synonymous. Like, it is very off-putting. Like, I get what my wife, just click right now, Crime Web. Like, when I look at some of these women creators and I imagine as a man being married to them, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What is the cure? Right? I'll tell you what the cure is. And they say, it's an old proverb. And they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. What do you do? Right? What do you do? I don't know.
You stay with your wife, and whatever she needs from you, you give her. And then you can sleep all night long.
That's it. Like, is there a permanent solution to this issue with YouTube? Or do we just continue to put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound? Like, what are we really doing here? Like, we're affecting that investigation so badly that the police have to come on and say, there was I repeat, no police presence there today. And that it seems to have been YouTube rumor. How can it still be at 155 days, guys, ladies rather? How can it still be this? Why is it still this? Anyone care to render an opinion? I mean, why is it still this way? Now, and I'm not being misogynist or an anti-feminist, but what I'm genuinely asking is that is all of this drama, is it related to tens of thousands of women being all crammed together loving true crime? Because what we know is this true crime is followed mainly by women. Hi, Miss Carissa. I think you may still be muted. In fact, sweetie, I don't even see, like, if you can see over here, see how Crime Web and I have microphone bars. You don't even have one. I'm not sure what's going on. What you need to do is restart your phone, Carissa. It's all a popularity contest, right? These people want to act as if they're running the true investigation that's going to end up in a court of law, in front of a jury, in front of a judge, right? Like potentially in front of court TV or whatever else, conglomerate wants to, continue to exploit the very, just the very entrails of this whole thing. You're being feminist. Okay, sorry. That's not what I'm trying to be. What I'm asking is, Carissa, we got you now? No, you got no microphone bar. I think you need to restart your phone. Like maybe you have another app that's using your microphone, or I don't know. Restart your phone. It's interactive TV, absolutely. At least court. See, this is the thing. If you pattern your channel, I don't, but if you did, pattern your channel after court TV, you could be successful. If you just regurgitated court TV but in different vernacular, you'd be all right. But these people have no patience, right? And let me tell you what. There is nothing, I repeat, nothing, Crime Web, or to the 120 people in the chat, there's nothing on this YouTube that I am so in love with that I will lose my beautiful family for.
I believe that.
There's nothing.
Yep.
You know what? I don't know. Like, I almost believe that the cure is for me to delete all of this because, I don't know, man.
I don't think, you have so much to offer. Maybe not leave, but maybe give thought into just changing your format slightly and see what the response is. I don't know what that change in your format would necessarily be, but if it was more just telling what's going on.
You know what people keep telling me? They keep telling me to buy this particular microphone that will allow me to have a soundboard during my live where I can change my voice. And then they want me to hide my face. And
but
it's like,
not Benny.
That's not Benny.
That's not Benny. No.
Well, no, it's Benny immediately. It's this Benny or no Benny.
This Benny or no Benny.
And so, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to honestly just err on the side of cautious. And I'm going to creep. I'm going to creep through the rest of this thing. And I'm going to ask that my wife, if you're watching, I know you got a lot of stuff going on in real life, wife. I understand. But if at any time this is uncomfortable to say the word, and I'll pull the plug. It's nothing. Right? I can still come here and I can still comment and be with all my friends. I don't have to be, yet never hide my face. I don't have to be, right out in the open like this and make my family a target. Right? So I don't know, man.
Benny, when you left us for a few days before, at first, all I could think about was myself and how much I missed hearing your voice, seeing your face. Okay. And the part of my day that you made better, right? And as time went on, I could take a more mature approach and realize, no, I want all this energy that I'm trying to selfishly take. I want him to give that to his wife, you know? So
it's a dilemma, right? Like I go all around the internet, and this is the thing. I go all around the internet and I still bump into people that came at me nasty, and maybe I just wanted them back up off of me. And so I just did the same thing that they were doing, but maybe I did it more proficient or whatever. And so then it became a problem. But I still to this day go around and see more people that I've helped or tried to help than I ever, insulted or disrespected or anything like that. And that's, to me, that's a testament, right? It's like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Like when you actually feel like you're trying to help people, like what are the other people? How do you define them? Because we're all trying to help. So what are the other people doing if they're not help?
it's all about your motivation of your heart.
That's it.
What do you want the outcome to be? You going to add to the positive, or are you going to add to the negative?
That's it, Crime Web. Right? Because then, but don't we understand that all of these supporters that are here right now, they were also here when we went through the Ziggy journey. And we went through all these journeys together. But it was all about, we all found each other because of Summer. Most of us, a whole lot of us, been knowing each other since before. But who you're looking at today, we all found each other because of Summer. There is so much love for so many people that have we have no obligation to love each other, but we do. And why do we do it? We do it because of Summer.
Hoo-ah.
Hoo-ah. And so because that environment, guys, ladies, is so precious to me, I'm willing to do anything, or was. Let me correct that. I was willing to do anything to protect the love that we have all built here and on other places we go, that we can, like, we have a base core people, and this is home base, or Lizzie's is home base, or maybe Cher's is home base, wherever we all met each other. And then we come together and it's like, man, here we are, right? And some of us love the Wells so much that we'll do anything to protect them. And then some of us hate them so much, we'll do anything to hurt the people that protect them.
It's the weirdest thing in the world, really. Like, there's no humanity in it.
It's completely reversed. It is absolutely reversed. And to try to let me tell you what, as a male creator, I'm not even a creator, as a male activist in a community full of 90% females, right? You got to be able to handle things a certain way. You've got to be somebody, I believe, with substance or at least morality or ethics that you can keep a large group of women together as a man. As a man to be able to handle things correctly, for women to come to you and say, Benny, you've done this or you've done that, right? And then at the same time, you've got the people that try to destroy the love we got here. And then, so fortunately for me, I have a beautiful Hispanic wife. And you know what? She knows I'm torn between this incredible rock and a hard place, because I have all of these people, and then I also have this wonderful life. And so it's like, where it seems like it should be a simple pick. But let me tell you what, I am so blessed today that the only choice I have to make is between my wife or the YouTube. I don't have to try to pick anymore about an addiction over my kids or my wife, or like that's the main thing in America, like an addiction or some fetish or some dysfunction that pulls us away from the thing that we really, really, really love, but we have no power and choice.
Amen.
No power and choice.
I'm going to pop off in case that's preventing Carissa somehow.
No, it's not. Carissa's having a tech issue, unfortunately. And I really want to hear what she has to say, because I truly believe, as many attempts as she's made to come up here, that she has something that she wants to say. Now, guys, I'm not narrowing it down just to addiction. I'm saying anything. Like, you could be one of the people that escape into a book, and your mate or your family say, "Oh my goodness, Mom, I've been trying to get your attention. You'd be reading the book." Like, all this stuff. Anything good even can be turned as a bad thing when the balance isn't right. Thank you for coming, Crime Web. I really appreciate it. We love you. Oh, and the beautiful puppy.
Well, this side. There we go.
Hey, sweetie.
Yeah. He's my Crime Web associate, see?
Hey, Crime Web associate.
Thanks, Benny.
That is the official search dog for Crime Web associates.
Thank you, Benny.
Love you, gal. Come again anytime. Thank you, Kelsey. Gulf Coast. You got that right. YouTube is an addiction. Some of us are fixers. I think I can save the world. You ask my wife, I could save the world, I think. She sees me, just go through so much trying to save the world, right? Because you want to know what? When I met my wife, it was fuck the world. Now I feel like I can save everybody. And I'm the very first one that, when I'm in my right mind, I'm going to tell you that, as an activist and someone that's been all through rehab and psychology and been, just all the most ugliest shit, right? That no matter what, I always have the power of choice. I always have the power as a monster to say no. But when it comes to this YouTube, sometimes I lose the power of choice. It's because my compassion, it overflows me. It is not my need to be coupled with the drama or immersed in the muck or stirred with the sauce or lost, thrown out, to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Throw the Benny out with the bathwater. I want to do good so bad. But because of the way it is now, yes, Gulf Coast, we did connect, and we just got caught in a funk. Love, I love you, right? Really do. And I know you love me, because here we are, right? Let me tell you how much healing has actually been going on in this community. I actually, I don't want anybody to be upset, but you guys know I'm trying to be the gel. I'm trying to be the thing that can bring this thing together, glue it all back, either be a great participant in it or be able to leave it in a greater state than I found it. Man, I went on the ratch today. I went on the racket today for Penny. I went on the racket today for Scott H. So if I go on the racket for Penny and Scott H, doesn't that automatically mean I go on the racket for John Q and Q Carlock? I mean, I did that in the beginning when I took Brad on as a friend. We're all connected by 6 degrees of separation or less. It doesn't matter how hard we fight to be separated from the ones that we despise here. But let me tell you what, even off the YouTube, it's probably 1 degree of I mean, it's 1 or 2 degrees of separation. In real life, there's only 9.1 million creators here, right? Oh man. You got a better chance in life, right? Crime time, grind. Benny, you need to help me keep my head on straight about this case. I am. I will. I'm trying to do the same for myself, but it is such a it's such a hard thing, right? So that's where I'm at. I don't want to tarnish any more of the work that we've done with the polygraph science of it all, the pseudoscience of it all. Matter of fact, while we're here, I'm going to change the title to the pseudoscience of it all. Okay. The pseudoscience of it all. Oh, I'll do it later. Forget about it. Thank you, Beth. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start turning the comments off, right? Our base core group is in here, right? You know how I feel. I start feeling squirrely when it gets over 100. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, Jordine, keep your head up like your nose is bleeding. Man, right? That's just about like this. Keep your head up, man. We got nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, hey, it's my partner Jay and Air. What's up, brother? Hold on, man. Let me refresh this. You're having a mic issue too, I think, bro. I don't know what the hell is going on. My wife, I love that woman. Jane Eyre, I think it must be an issue on my end. I'm sorry, Carissa. I'm sorry, Jane Eyre. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this thing down for the night, button the hatches, and we'll do another one tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. I love you guys. You know what? I like this will be one of the days to remember in this case. We can all look back one day and say, "Oh, remember that day when a rumor came out that's this, that, and the third." Like, and we all did it together, right? We all of us here, we did it together. Thank you, Carissa. We'll get it worked out. Katie, what's up, sweetie? Nice to see you. So yeah, guys, I love you guys, all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Chest out, head up, posture, right? We don't bow our heads to nothing, right? We have integrity. Right? Hoo-ah.